Welcome to the Bandano Podcast, where we're calling a spade a spade. Great to be here with you guys today. I hope the Indiana Fever aren't this foolish. Now, ESPN, they put out a prediction model of the 5 players that the Indiana Fever are going to core, and a specific Sophie Cunningham is not on this list. You got AB, you got Caitlin, you got Kelsey, you got Lexi, and then you have Michaela Timpson, limiting it to 5. Are 5 roster spots going to be the 5 cores, going to be the maximum amount of cores each team can do heading into the expansion draft, if there even is an expansion draft? Now, I will say this. Indiana Fever, you want to keep your star player happy, right? You want to keep your star player having faith in the franchise, right? You want your star player to look forward to coming to work, right? Look forward to coming into the gym, right? Build relationships off the court, not only on the court, but Caitlin Clark said this back in her days in Iowa. Part of the reason why that team was such a unit, there was so much cohesion between them, is because they got along off the court as well. Now, if you guys let Sophie Cunningham walk because you refuse to core her, I don't think Caitlin Clark's going to be too happy about that. She might say the right things in public. She might say the right things when you put a microphone in front of her face. But behind closed doors, behind the scenes, when her and Sophie Cunningham are talking, yeah, I can't believe they didn't core you, that's the conversation that's going on. When her, Sophie, and Lexi all get together and say, man, I can't believe they didn't, those are the conversations that are going to be going on. Please like the video, comment in the comment section below. I want to hear your thoughts on this, and subscribe to the channel. That would mean so much to me. 2026 WNBA expansion draft protected player predictions. At the same time, executives in WNBA front offices are monitoring negotiations on a new CBA that will determine the rules they operate under. They're also busy preparing for a second expansion draft in as many off seasons. Last month, ESPN reported that the expansion draft for the incoming Portland Fire and Toronto Tempo is expected to feature different rules than last year's version that stocked the Golden State Valkyries with making of a playoff roster. With so many WNBA veterans headed to unrestricted free agency, with the new CBA certain to massively increase salaries, teams are expected to be allowed to protect only 5 players each rather than last year's 6. Because the 2 expansion teams will be able to pick among players whose rights are held even if they did not play in the WNBA last season, and because they can pick 1 unrestricted free agent each to potentially deploy the core designation, there will be difficult decisions as protected lists are finalized. Interesting. They can pick only 1 unrestricted free agent to potentially deploy the core designation. That would be Kelsey Mitchell. Lexi Hull is a restricted free agent. Kelsey Mitchell unrestricted, Sophie Cunningham unrestricted. If you have to pick between the 2 from a skill standpoint, I mean, you'd be foolish to let Kelsey Mitchell walk, so I do understand. Granting that there are still variables left to be determined by CBA negotiations, including the future of the core system, let's run through how the list of 5 protected players for each team might look and who that would leave available for the first tempo. Roster designations: unsigned draft pick, restricted free agent, reserved free agent, suspended list and contract expired, unrestricted free agent. Let's jump straight to the Indiana Fever. You have Aaliyah Boston under contract, Caitlin Clark under contract. Lexi Hull would be the restricted free agent. Kelsey Mitchell would be the unrestricted free agent. And Michaela Timpson is already under a contract, so they would keep her as well. Letting Sophie Cunningham of this list, Sophie Cunningham is the only one that I would hate to see go. With 7 players heading to unrestricted free agency and only Mitchell as a viable core candidate, the Fever's roster is in good shape for the expansion draft. They can protect all 3 players on rookie contracts, plus Mitchell and restricted free agent Hull. Unless an expansion team sees Cunningham as a core candidate, that would leave them choosing between a pair of unprotected Aussies, Bibby and Wallace. Now, when it comes to Sophie Cunningham, if she isn't cored here, if a team does go after her and want to pick her up, man, that would be very interesting. Unless an expansion team sees Cunningham as a core candidate, that would leave them choosing between a pair of unprotected Aussies, Bibby and Wallace. Would an expansion team see Sophie Cunningham as a core candidate? You would have to think so based on all of the other teams, based on all the other players that would be available to get picked up, no? You would have to think that if I'm the Portland Fire or the Toronto Temple, Sophie Cunningham is a player that I'm going to go after and try to pick up during this expansion draft. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Now we look forward to another team here, the Chicago Sky, and I'm just going to touch on this real quick. Ariel Atkins, Camila Cardoso, Angel Reese, Asha Sivka, and Haley Van Lith. After Angel Reese threw Ariel Atkins under the bus, the Chicago Sky would have to be absolutely foolish to protect Ariel Atkins in this expansion draft. They would have to be absolutely foolish to protect Ariel Atkins and Angel Reese and bring them back to the same locker room for next season. If I'm Ariel Atkins, why would I want to come back to a team whose alleged star player threw me under the bus? If I'm Rachel Banham, she's not getting protected under the bus as well. Rebecca Allen thrown under the bus as well. But Michaela Onyenwere, she wasn't thrown under the bus. Michaela Onyenwere, Angel Reese always says nice things about Michaela Onyenwere and Elizabeth Williams. Or do you protect Ariel Atkins and then float her there on the trade market and see what kind of value, what kind of return you can get back for her? But this list, keeping Ariel Atkins, Cardoso, Reese, Sivka, and Haley Van Lith, very interesting to me. The Dallas Wings, another team. If I'm the Dallas Wings, I would protect Arike, but I'm trading Arike in a heartbeat. I don't want Arike part of my 2026 team. I don't want Arike Ongombawale anywhere near my 2026 roster moving forward. She's a shot chucker, a brick taker. She's a ball stopper. She's inefficient, high usage, inefficient scorer. I want her far away from Paige Beckers on the Dallas Wings as far as Paige Beckers getting better. Paige Beckers' development will only be hindered being on the same team as one Arike Ongombawale. The Golden State Valkyries, this is a solid team that they're going to core here. Burton, Just Josiate, Ilyana Rupert, Saloon, Thornton. It's a solid core. That is a very solid core. Now, if I'm the Indiana Fever, just since I'm looking at the Golden State Valkyries, if she's available in free agency, I am bringing Tammy Fagbenle back. If I'm not going to be drafting a rim runner in the draft, I'm going to be looking to bringing Tammy Fagbenle back. I would look at bringing Tiffany Hayes in as a scorer off the bench. And again, if I'm the Portland Fire or the Toronto Temper, Kate Martin is going to be a player that I'm going to think to myself, maybe I should go out and get her and bring her up to part of my roster. But look at the projected unprotected from the Indiana Fever here. Nobody on this list even intrigues me if I'm an expansion team other than Sophie Cunningham. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I appreciate all the support. Like the video, comment, subscribe. That means so much to me. See you next time, and as always, take it easy.